In this third example, we want to add a button to the user interface so that when the sales opportunity is won, we want that button to set the status and log who did it and when. So we are going to build a workflow that will do the work for us. So from the sales opportunities table, we are going to click on names and views. We're going to put it to the tile workflow. Untick the box so that it does not include all fields and click add. So we're going to call this view sales op 1 and click OK. For our workflow to set data, we need to create a calculation. We've learnt how to create calculations in previous videos. In this case, we want a text calculation. It is important that we use the same name as the field we wish to set. In this case, status. We are now going to type the calculation in manually. The correct way to write SQL for text fields involves using single quotes to hold our value. It is also important that we set the field to be the right option in our status dropdown. In this case, it must include the number prefix. So we'll set the calculation value to be 4, 1, and yes, the quotation marks are very important. And then click Update. Now, we also want to set who closed the sale op. This is another text field, but this time the destination field is called closed by. So just like we did before, go to Fields, and in Add Calculation, the name is going to be closed by and click Add. We can use a special bit of SQL called a variable to find out who is logged in. So if you scroll down under Available Variables, we can copy and paste the user and include the brackets, and then click Update. Finally, we need to turn this view into a workflow that does something. If we choose the Workflow Edit Record section, we can set the workflow to update the record. We can change the action to update the matching sales opportunity. The system needs to log the date it performs the action, which is useful as we can use it to set the close date. So we set log update to used close date. We will leave the frequency as manual, as we want the user to use a button to fire this workflow. So we are now ready to add the button to the user interface. So go back to Edit Sales Opportunity table and we'll show the list of fields. Buttons are just cross-reference fields that are workflows. So we're going to add a new field and call it Button Sales Op 1. The type as cross-reference data, and then we're going to select the table to use as sales opportunities, and the view to use will be sales op 1. We're then going to go back to fields and drag and drop this to move it into the right place. And we're going to see how this looks. And you can see the button here. So if we click on the button, you can see that the sales op 1 has been done. You can see who it was closed by, and you can see it set its status to 1. Now it will also have logged the date that it was closed. However, this is currently hidden so that we can't see it. And we're actually going to show you how to do this, how to hide things. So if you see here, the button is still visible even after being clicked. So we will now show you how to hide the button. So to do this, switch to development mode, click on Edit the table, click on the field that you want to edit. And here under Visibility View, you can see that there are different versions of visibility. For example, at the moment it's on Always, however you can select Visibility Never. We're not actually going to use these, we're going to set our own one under certain conditions, so we're going to add a filter. We're going to change the field to Status, Type to less than, and then the value as 4. If you go back, you can now see that the button has gone because it has been clicked once. There are also several other types of automations. We've already seen sending emails in this guide, but you can also create new records and generate PDFs. If you are interested, please take a look at our other guides linked below and the associated documentation.